which means we have to begin to understand what true compassion really is. You know, for 50 years now, there have been a group of do-gooders who pat people on the head and say, there, you poor little thing. You can't do anything, and those people have been so mean to you, and I'm going to help you, and I'm going to give you food subsidies and housing subsidies and free health care, and all you need to do is sit there and relax. And when it comes time to vote, vote for me. You know, this is so patronizing. And I am hopeful that people will begin to wake up and see what's going on and see that this is not helping anyone except to keep them in a position of dependency when we have a country that should be providing hope for everybody. And what we need to do is be studying programs like the micro-lending program of Muhammad Yunus, who won the Nobel Prize in 2006, a program that lifted millions of people out of poverty in Bangladesh and that whole part of the world. These kinds of programs can work right here in America, because I think many Americans would be happy to invest in other Americans, not necessarily getting a monetary return, but seeing other Americans move from dependency to independence, which will help all of us in the long run. I think we also, as we become more educated and more informed, particularly on the financial markets, will realize that we are on the brink of destruction because of the huge federal debt that we have. We're talking about $18 trillion. Now, we can say that, but does anybody actually know what that means? If you tried to pay that back at $10 million a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, it would take you 5,000 years, back to the days of the pyramids. That is a ridiculous amount of money. And the only reason we can sustain that debt is because our dollar is the reserve currency of the world, which means we can print money. You heard a little bit about that earlier. If Greece could print money, they wouldn't be in trouble either. Or at least they wouldn't think they were in trouble. They would be in trouble, but they wouldn't think they were in trouble. Just like we're in trouble, but we don't think that we're in trouble. But what if we weren't the reserve currency? Some of you have probably heard of the international organization, BRICS, right? And we're talking about Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, trying to create a new monetary system backed by gold and minerals, as opposed to the US dollar, backed by our good name, which is becoming less good and less respected as we continue to demonstrate fiscal irresponsibility. What happens if they're successful and we're no longer able to print money? We become a third world nation overnight. Everything that everybody has worked for, down the drain. We are millimeters away from that happening. And the only way we can stop that is, first of all, we need to become financially literate so that we don't listen to these politicians who tell us that everything is okay, don't worry, economy is great, jobs are getting better. Don't listen to that crap. I mean, they are just trying to soothe you. They know what's going on. And we need to know what's going on. More importantly, we need to learn how to vote in an appropriate way. Candy and I just finished an e-book manuscript. It will come out the end of this month, called One Vote, to teach people not only what a precious gift it is to be able to vote, but also the responsibility and how to become an informed voter. You know, most people, they walk into the booth, they're looking for a D, an R, or a name that looks familiar. I mean, the name could be Satan. Oh, yeah, I know that name. You know, in many cases it is. And, you know, this is the problem. And this is how we end up with what we have now. And it is vital to get to know who your representatives are, how they voted, not how they said they voted. And if they keep voting to raise the debt ceiling and to jeopardize the future of our nation, you need to throw them out of office. This is as simple as that. And